It started with a letter, a simple handwritten envelope left in the mailbox. The Broaddus family had just bought their dream home in Westfield, New Jersey, a 6-bedroom house on 657 Boulevard, sitting on a quiet, tree-lined street. Derek and Maria Broaddus worked their entire lives to afford it. They imagined their kids running in the backyard, laughing and making memories. They had no idea their dream home was about to become their worst nightmare. The kind of nightmare you don't wake up from. The first letter arrived just 3 days after closing on the house. Derek pulled it from the mailbox, noticing the thick paper and lack of a return address. At first, he thought it was a welcome letter from a kind neighbor. But when he opened it, his blood turned to ice. The letter began politely, like a warm greeting. "Dearest new neighbors at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood." But the next line made his stomach drop. 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now. I have been put in charge of watching it, as my father and grandfather did before me. Derek felt a shiver crawl up his spine. Who would send a letter like this? And why did it feel like a threat? The words on the page only got worse. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within its walls? 657 Boulevard is anxious for you to move in. It has been waiting for its second coming. Then the letter got personal. It mentioned there are 3 children by detail. I've seen them. Oh, how young blood plays in the house. Derek's hands clenched the paper. Was it once mine? You have filled it with young blood again. His heart pounded, an overwhelming sense of dread washing over him. Someone had been watching his children. Someone close enough to see them inside the house. He ran inside and showed Maria the letter. Her face turned pale, and her breathing became unsteady. Who would write this? She whispered. Derek had no answer. He grabbed his phone and called the police immediately. Within minutes, an officer arrived, his expression darkening as he read the letter. Then he looked up at Derek and said something chilling. Do not tell your neighbors about this. Derek's stomach twisted. Why? The officer gave no real explanation. He only repeated himself. That night, Maria refused to let the kids sleep in the house. She kept checking the windows, convinced someone was watching them. The next morning, another letter arrived. The envelope was the same. The eerie, typed font identical. Derek's hands trembled as he opened it, and the words inside made his blood run cold. Why are you here? 657 Boulevard is not happy. Maria felt sick to her stomach. Who am I? You will never know, but I know you. The letter described their cars, their schedules, and even the names of their children. Whoever this was, they were watching every move they made. The next lines were worse than anything Derek had imagined. Do they sleep in the attic or in the bedroom facing the street? I will know as soon as you move in. Maria dropped the letter, stepping away from it like it was toxic. Someone was watching them, but from where? They had barely spent time inside the house, and yet the watcher already knew everything about them. They tried to ignore it. Maybe it was a prank. Maybe it was nothing. But then the third letter arrived. And this time, it wasn't just unsettling, it was a warning. It has been years and years since the young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Maria squeezed Derek's hand as she read it. Have you found all the secrets it holds yet? Derek swallowed hard, his mouth dry. Will the young blood play in the basement? Or are they too afraid? I would be very afraid if I were them. Derek clenched his fists, rage mixing with fear. That was it. He wouldn't let some psycho terrorize his family. They called the police again, but there were no clues. The envelopes had no fingerprints, no DN, return address. The police launched an investigation. They interviewed every neighbor on the street. Nobody knew anything. Or at least, nobody admitted to knowing anything. Derek installed security cameras. He spent entire nights sitting by the monitor, staring at the live feed. Every time he thought he saw movement, it disappeared. shadows shifting along the street, a figure standing near a tree. One night, Maria woke up screaming. She swore she had heard whispering outside the bedroom window. Derek grabbed a baseball bat and ran outside. The yard was empty, the street silent. But when he checked the mailbox the next morning, another letter was waiting for them. Welcome again to your home at 657 Boulevard. The workers have been busy and I have been watching. The dumpster is a nice touch. Have they found what is in the walls yet? In time they will. Maria pressed her hands over her mouth, horror flooding her mind. The walls. What was inside the walls? Derek searched every inch of the house. He knocked on the walls, listening for hollow spaces. Nothing. No secret doors, no hidden crawl spaces, but the letters kept coming. And the messages got worse. You cannot hide from me. 657 Boulevard belongs to me. You will never be alone in this house. Maria started sleeping with the lights on. She refused to be alone in a room, even in the daytime. One night, Derek swore he saw a figure standing across the street, but when he blinked, it was gone. Months passed. The letters slowed down. For a while, there was silence. Then one final letter arrived. It was short, simple, a warning. You will never get rid of me. I am always watching. The police had no answers. No suspects, no fingerprints. They ran out of leads. The Broaddus family had to accept the truth. They would never know who was watching them. They would never know how close the watcher had gotten. Years later, they sold the house at a loss. They never lived there. They never slept in its walls. But the watcher still exists, somewhere in that neighborhood. Somewhere in the dark, and maybe, just maybe, they're writing a letter to someone else right now. Subscribe for part 2.